Make every night a wonderful journey, no matter where you are. Good night, sweet dreams. The first story, El Cementerio, yes. Vivo secu cadien, an barrio aleda, o al Cementerio diuc. Dinio, junto a Miss DMS, V. Ineserve, Mont bien specialita, atenita y hasta escu, erendicho, lugar, orade ostores parla, as en frente ant area aberrise, di enchu en lapwart di ebaju, di cado di abota, unidajo di ichas torres he, antino q las e travisa, antes, dicos di niles este, and aberrators actualmente men escalados, consent as puertas de acero, y se conecte ben mutuamente. Elos neo, SNOS en contabie recordest la bajadita de la alta forma superior. Seguir los senderos que levan los tiniles. Salir del otro lado. Y regresar al punto de ragione que seamos competencia. A ver quien gane bien. Fabuloso passer. Propios los tiniles en estrecoes. No tenen luces HAB en inmensos oscuros wheels, con alambres sutio es enoteco. Tenen un olor algo pasado y hasta el mismo ambiente herdenso. Cada vez que osbiemos por sin prender su oportunidad. Nunca apelo ese de velocidad. Y salimos con los corazones agitados. And ese eno eso ocurre, a media noche. Y hacer lot raves a teeny les includos. Je siempre que viemos heco amperad ospato lalas del sol. Yo pensaba en aquel momento que, si siendo de lesos teeny leser, en os crecimos. Simo es de noche. Tena un mal present de metenses en embargo. En OHAB marche a tier salary to HA. Viacido lands duantre el grupo. Y green nolo HACia. Puis SC. Ara labrele y LHAs. E mir de los DEMS. SQ. Armado est en S lo de nuestros patinet. Es cruzamos el moro del Cementerio. Caminamos hasta los torres. YNOSA somos por el primero de los tiniles. No se vi nada din saben. La esperanza que tin alguito se mita antuno. Es ver alas del otro lado pues bien. Esta visi laco se cambi. No HAB las del otro lado. Pero la hubo paso arroz lo que me contec. Est bien. Es decididos a hacer el recorrido a lo major cade, a no en el fondo sentimido a hacerlo, pero ya no de ibad, a marche a dignes lo menciona, a con palabra como, recura, a motiva de burlas que usap, by mosa la base forma superior, y en fila, empezamos a bejar. Arpequium ULAQ savi, entre los dos cuando miras desde la calle. Las patinet, as tomar en gran velocidad. Y yo me atemorizaba, a medida que nos hacer, si veíamos el primer tinel, cortemos la primera, por el sendero, y budijero en nueve y logramos 5 en total. El sonido de las antes, el rade, or contra el pavi magnoer a lo mico, que se escuchabia en aquel instante, dimo es la otra curid el sendero, y de pronto. OSCU IDAD, nada más que eso el sonido de las ruedas, continua bien, pero era esta vi ECMS estrep, ito eso. Yacuhabm centri duen el primer tumo. Rezona ban las elentes. Pero este vis ems erpido documentes. Por nada el mundo qui sed et enermi en aquel instanti. Pero tu quiu hacerlo. A decir verdad. Sent quiu est rel contra algo. Mi compañero de enfrente. Se oidit enido. Alego quiu el quiu diba frente suyo. Los quiu hibernatieres. Ales quiu carelest relen. También se desivieron. Pero porcu en medio tinel. Sent comes en la nucie. Es como algo afro super dest mis pies y. Idersen mi estmago. Judip etrificadu. Free gantien domten solo cuocura. No via nada. Mi si queer mi mano dos centimetros de mi cara. Didu estabi oscuro per lugu, vilas oveti oscure. Iti no di misamiti uitos. Rode de dien extra o halo blanco senti pronto qui algo pos curi. And do a lado omi 8 muric NMS. Era anno de mis amigos. El que iba de segundo en la fila. El que iba primero save o casi inmediation. Y cuando pasa mi lado. Putverlo cuelo seche. And fistulalas blanca. The final del tuno. P-R-O-T. N-A-R-O-S-T-R-O. Y-F-O-R-M-A-D-Q-M-A-N-A. Flotaba. Y-C-As Garcubie. Arpidement Hotchadum Estaba. A-H-H-H-H-H-H. Sendel Grit Deteresimo. Y-Fui Hasti Yesi Entences. Quando Reachi and Yput Saler Kuri and Du Kupatanisa Ni Kunada. Teneslo Ser Los Ojos. Mi Volt Wike. Or el grito no est lo mi hizo reachi en arm. Sino tambi, en los murc, I legos quiu dormen en los. If I seos del deco del tino. Arancitos dielos mi amigo segu agrisen du. Y yo con el grim as en misojos. Pius senticulacur teen a diem. Urc I legos no mi ibonita hariscapear. Por nada del mundo, cor avio el ter la mirada. Tenes lo sente QESC algo seas garcabie, anes white mnes serpido. No encounter bien self final del tinel. Y sent Q corhorspare, a poder saler dia. Pero di pronto via mis DMS compañeros. Y miv yo mismo fiera. Segue mas goriendu. At raves misel postu. Salte misel moro. YN sent Q. Equelo V NAC RST nostros. No besti. Tivimos hasta leger al punto. De reunion NBA. Chirodich emento alambradu por un posti as el critrica. Q quade ba sequica. A cada midi las cosas de nostros. En Westbrook at a nescuic helicosa, yano ano SSEGua. Pero en as SEGua. Pero en as cada queen coum by rambo sucosa. Cercon lave. Why no sali has de lam on a seguint. Comentrios QH, I see imos des puesa respecto. Entre los amigos Q as estimoes. Describirona unum juridic. Abelos y ojos blancos. Vestida continica. Rohera poscu. Aradia ban las por supostua. Adianos gray y se convert in quanto infantilemes. Pero desta calavi easy. Nemes nadi se. Revia enteridicos diniles. Nisi queer a rico gersis poti net is lipi di mi papun a nueva para navidad. Tu estaba PRXIMA. I live near a cemetery close to the Luke neighborhood. As a child, along with my other little neighbors, we rode bicycles. skateboards, and even scooters. Here there are 2 parallel towers in front of an open area. But who would know that at the bottom of each of these towers there is a tunnel that goes under them? Before, these tunnels were open. They are now sealed with steel doors respectively, and were connected mutually as children. We loved to travel from the upper platform to the lower ones, to follow the trails leading to the tunnels leaving from the other side. And returning to the starting point, we had a competition to see who would win. It was fabulous to spend time there, because the tunnels were an arrow, and they had no lights. They were immense and dark, with holes in the ceiling with loose wires. It had a somewhat heavy smell, and even the atmosphere was dense. Each time we would pass around them, always on a bike or skateboard. Never walking, we did at full speed. And we went out the other side with rapidly beating hearts. One day we came at midnight to go and make the crossing, including the tunnels. We had always done this under the cover of sunlight. I thought about being in those tunnels on the darkest day. How would they be at night? I had a bad feeling, however. There was no turning back. The challenge had been made for the group, and whoever didn't do, it would be a mockery and a laughingstock to the others. So, armed only with our skateboards, we crossed the cemetery wall. We walked up to the towers, and we looked at the first of the tunnels. I could not see anything. You know the hope you have when you're in a tunnel, that you can see light on the other side. Well, this time it was different. There was no light on the other side, but there was this faint light. I will narrate step by step what happened. We were determined to make the trip. Maybe everyone in the back was afraid to do it, but no one was going to back down. Just to mention a word like return was to be mocked, so we went to the upper platform, and in a line, we started down the ramp which is between the 2 towers when you look at it from the street. The skateboards picked up speed, and it frightened me as we approached the first tunnel. We cut the first bend in the trail. I was the third in line. There were 5 of us in total. The sound of tires rolling on the pavement was all that was heard at that moment. We caught the other curve of the path, and suddenly, RKNESS, nothing other than that the sound of the wheels continued, but this time was more frantic. As we had entered the first tunnel, our wheels echoed, but this time faster than before. I wouldn't have given it up for anything in the world. I did not want to stop, but I had to tell the truth. I felt that I had crashed into something. It was my colleague in front of me. He had stopped, like the one that was in front of him. And those who were further back, upon hearing the crash, also stopped. But why? Why? In the middle tunnel, I felt something itching on the back of my neck and something cold go up from my feet and nested in my stomach. I was petrified, wondering just what had happened. I couldn't see anything, not even my hand 2 inches from my face. Everything was dark, but then I saw the dark silhouette of one of my friends, surrounded by a strange white halo. I suddenly felt something pass by my side. I panicked even more. It was one of my friends, who was second in line, who was the first to turn almost immediately, and when she passed me, I could see what they had seen. The white light at the end of the tunnel, BUTITWASAFAC ANDAUMANFORM. It floated and was quickly approaching me. JJJJJ. I heard the shout coming from behind me, and it wasn't until then that I reacted and I could run. No skateboard or anything. I just closed my eyes. I turned around and ran. The scream made me react. Not me only, but also the bats sleeping in the holes in the roof of the tunnel. There were hundreds of them. My friend kept screaming. and I ran with tears in my eyes because I felt certain that the bats were not going to let me escape. I wanted to turn away. I just felt that something was getting closer and closer. I could not find the end of the tunnel, and I felt like I ran for hours to get out of it. But suddenly I saw my friends, and I saw it myself. We keep running. We crossed the grass, jumped the wall, and still felt that thing was behind us. We did not stop until we got to the meeting point. A cement dump and street wide lit by electricity, which was close to each of our houses. We realized that the thing was not following us, but still everyone went their way home, locked the door, and did not leave until the next morning. Comments made by my friends who had gone that night described a woman with white hair and eyes, dressed in rags or robes that were radiating light. Of course, nobody believed us, and it became a children's story. But since that time, no one else has dared to enter those tunnels, not even to pick up their skateboards. I asked my dad for a new one for Christmas, which was closed. The second story, the angel in my room. I remember her. Every day I remember her. Her gaze which made my heart pump, but my blood cold. Her touch. How could someone with such cold skin make my flesh burn almost to the point of blistering? It was 3 or 4 years ago. I was struggling to come up with money to pay the rent. My art wasn't selling and I felt so alone. I had no money, so I couldn't eat. I would often pass out from hunger. My art was suffering. I had no inspiration. How I prayed, but little did I know. My prayers would come true in a way I never imagined possible. It was late at night when it happened. Around 1 a.m., a loud sound woke me up, like the sound of wind chimes, but much louder. I sat up, but couldn't seem to get out of my bed, as if some force was forbidding it. A freezing cold fog started blowing into the room from the crack below the door. My heart sped up as some sort of apparition appeared before me. It was a pale girl, floating about a foot above the ground, the darkness of her face only outshone by the glow of her halo. She was beautiful, but I felt weird. Why was she here? What did she want? Just as I had the thought, she looked directly at me, her face hidden by her long locks of brunette hair. She moved closer. My heart slowed down, and I started having trouble breathing. She began reaching for my arm. I could feel how cold her skin was from a yard away. It was like ice. But when she grabbed my hand, a severe pain ran through my body. It burned. I could feel my skin grow hot and blister as she continued to grip my hand. I struggled, but she wouldn't let me go. With her free hand, she slowly parted her hair, and what I saw was a traumatizing image. I screamed. She had no face, no blood, no scars, just smooth flesh. This was no angel. I don't know what it was, but it certainly wasn't holy. If anything, it was demonic, but I just don't know. She leaned her head next to mine, her cold head brushing against my face. I heard her whisper. Her voice was so sweet. She whispered, "Only after death can we be together again." After that I heard her let out a chuckle. I closed my eyes tight out of fear. When I opened them, she was gone. I thought it was just a dream, I thought, but it couldn't have been. I looked down at my arm to see the blisters she had left. The next morning, I woke up and drew her in my sketch pad. As I did that, all I could do was think about what happened. But the thoughts that kept coming back to me was why I can't wait to see her again. The third story, the recording. Rumor has it, if you take a picture, You capture someone's soul inside a picture, but what if you record the voice of someone? This journal and cassette tape was recovered from a man who died a rather different way. His eye sockets had deep, dark holes, and his jaw seemed to be broken, so the mouth was left wide open. He also had a strange mark on his arm, as if someone had scratched him. June 180, 2009. Dear Journal, I just bought a tape recorder from a local pawn shop, as well as some blank tapes. I'm excited, since I'm heading over to my friend's house tomorrow, since he said it's haunted. I'll test it out now to make sure it works properly. That's strange, for whatever reason, it won't work. I hit the record, but it didn't do anything. It just unclicked, as if the tape had something on it already. This is the only tape out of the 3 that does this. I tried hitting play, but nothing could be heard, not even breathing. Oh well, I'd better head to bed, since it's late. June 19, 2009. Dear Journal, I took another listen to those tapes, and it turns out they have something on them. A voice. It sounds like a girl humming. It doesn't sound familiar. It just sounds like she's very happy over something. Well, I need to go to the store and do some other things for today. Work called and said I'm fired great well. I'd better take this tape out, since I don't want anything else to get on it. June 2019, 2009. Dear Journal, it's considered the 20th, since it's 1 a.m. now. I got woken up by some sort of sound coming from somewhere in my room. I figured out then it was from my tape recorder, with the tape somehow back in it. I guess I must have put it back in after I wanted to listen to it once more. Can't believe I got scared of that back to bed. June 20, 2009. Dear Journal, I started my oh so wonderful job-free day off with a shower. I felt like I was being watched. I checked around and found nothing. I looked for moving shadows, my own reflection in the mirror to change, as well as everything else you normally see in horror movies. But I guess it was just me being nervous. Then again, there was something weird that happened after I stepped out of the shower. There was a girl's giggle. I'm sure I'm just getting myself all worked up over nothing, but still. June 212,009. Dear Journal, things are getting really messed up, and I mean super messed up. I'm seeing shadows running back and forth in my hallway. I found some sort of red liquid on my kitchen counter, and I'm even starting to hear some little girl's voice without the tape even being in the recorder. I swear I can hear her say, 12, I'm coming for you, as if it's some sort of game. June 220, 2009. I found my journal. I can hear her in the hallway. It's so dark. I can't see anything. I hear someone breathing. No, it's me. I don't know how I'm going to get out of this, but I know one thing's for sure. I have to destroy this thought. The journal page was cut off, and a pencil stroke goes down from where the P was about to be written. Under it is a sunflower that looks like it's been drawn by a young child.